Hey, Carrie here. I believe I can change your life. That's right. I believe that if you'll pay attention to what I have to say, I can change your life. That's a pretty profound statement, and I doubt if a whole lot of people have ever said it to you. Maybe your priest or your minister or your rabbi, but I believe I can change your life, and I'm going to prove it to you today. And I'm going to do it in such a way that I think two different ways, actually. I think I can show you how to invest better, and then I think I can show younger people where to invest better, where to put their money to take advantage of the tax laws that make people dirty rich. And so I'm going to share that in this video with you today. But first, I want to tell you that, I don't know every day. I've been doing this for 2 years, since November of 2019. And every day I get up and I don't have a clue as to what I'm going to talk about. And then it basically comes to, well, what happened in the past day, what's happening this morning, and what do I think my viewers might be interested in hearing? Well, Andre this morning commented on my video where I propounded or preached what would be the next Tesla. And he indicated that he believed with me, and he wanted me to read his comment in a video so other people could learn from what he's learned. So I got to share with you, though, that I'm dyslexic, and I don't like to read aloud. In fact, I haven't done it in 50 years, but I'm going to try it right now. I could never work with a teleprompter. But anyway, hey, Carrie, my name is Andre Cunningham. I am from Toronto, Canada, and I just wanted to take a minute and leave you a genuine comment that I hope you see. Andre, I did see it. I've watched all of your videos and have been a subscriber since you only had 2,500 subscribers, and I've watched everything since. I fully believe in the genome revolution will be 5,000 times bigger than the dot-com boom and yield 5,000% growth on my portfolio. This is no way insider information, but I have friends high up in the medical field, and from some of the research and resources I have seen, it's going to be phenomenal. My greatest hope is that you are here with us to see it unfold. I'm 77 years old. Please leave your channel in great hands so that we can share your videos and your legacy that you predicted this before it happened. I believe you will make a lot of us very wealthy. I do too. I've gotten rid of the roommate in my head. What he's referring to there is my book that he obviously has read my book where I talk about getting rid of the roommate in your head. I've gotten rid of the roommate in my head, and I will be buying genome stocks until they book. Thank you for all that you do, and I love you. Thank you. That's how you subscribe. You subscribe shows me your love. The tribe loves you. Read this in one of your videos so we can share this 10, 20, and even 30 years from now. Thank you, Andre. You made my day. You made my life. Okay. That's my objective. Andre has summed it up that he recognizes that I look into the future, but I base my predictions on what I've learned in the past. That's someone would ask me, I did a podcast the other day, and they said, how are you different? I said, I'm 77 years old. I said, everybody else who's talking about the stock markets are in their 20s and 30s and have really no experience, but have a good presentation and have an opinion. That's all we all have is an opinion based upon our knowledge, our reading, our studying, and then you take it and you add to it your knowledge, and we go from there. But I think it's important, particularly as we're dealing with in a market right now, to know where we are in the history of things and then try to project what's going to happen. So in this video, I'm going to take you to show you some history, to show you some future, and then share with you my objectives and my goals in my remaining, say, 10 years. But this is not financial advice. But then you knew that. I'll be right back with you.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Okay, where are we now? We're getting beat up pretty bad. We have a lot of fear going on. We have inflation. We have higher interest rates. We have a war, and the market is reacting to it, reacting very negatively because of fear. It was preceded by a time of overexuberance. We had so damn much money flood into this market in 2020, $9 trillion. We took our national debt in 2000 from $4 trillion to 2020. We were at 20 trillion. So from between 2000 and 2020, we added $1 trillion a year to our national debt. Yeah, but in 2020, we added $9 trillion in 1 year. And that's the overexuberance that was in the market. And it is always, after a period of overexuberance, is followed by a correction, a pivot that says, this isn't real. We've got to bring it back to reality. Well, that's what's happening right now. And it's happening because of fear. Things got out of control. Holy shit, we got a war going on. Vladimir said he'll push the button anytime now. That's fear. We have interest rates. The cost of gas is escalating. For the wealthy people, that represents 4% of their monthly bills. For the not so wealthy people, it represents 20%. If 20% of your budget has just increased by 100%, the cost of filling your car, you ain't buying groceries. At least not as many. You're having trouble paying your credit card bills. That's slowing the economy. That's what's happening. Has it happened before? Yes. It happened in the dot-com bubble. It happened in the subprime crisis. Let's look at this chart. Okay, this is my chart from TradingViews that I've created to give me a pacifier, if you will, on how the stock market works. And I visit this thing every day. And what I'm showing you here is that I'm starting at the bottom of the dot-com bubble because I think we're in something significantly like the dot-com bubble right now, and it will come to an end. And as you can see then, technology, and that's what the QQQs are all about, then over the next 20 years took us up here to November of or December of 2021, and the stock market, or that the Qs went up 2,042% in that time. And I think that's what we're facing right now if we want to know what's going to happen over the next 20 years. And I honestly believe because of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, the overwhelming changes in technology, we're going to beat that 2,000 number easily in the QQQs. So I wanted to share that with you and get some understanding of what history of the stock market is about. And this is, I know most of my normal audience, but this is directed to the young people, the millennials. You need to understand the past to get a vision into the future, okay? And the vision in the future is going to be in healthcare, supply chain, energy, and it's going to be pushed. And you can put cryptocurrency in there as well. I don't honestly know how the government's going to deal with that, so that's not a big investment on my part. And then it's going to be pushed by big data, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, things of that nature. So that's the past. But let's talk about the future. Okay. So at the end of the dot-com bubble, it was immediately followed by the digital revolution. I mean, the dot-com bubble was the basis for the digital revolution, but it kicked in as the companies that presented it to us, that took the World Wide Web and turned it into the internet, and took us into where we are today, grew substantially. So what can we learn from that? What is the pivot at this point? What is going to happen after this crash comes to a conclusion? And it will spike right up to new heights because we've added to the digital revolution machine learning, artificial intelligence, big data, all the things that are going to change every element of our life. Just today, Eli Lilly announced that they have a drug that is going to be for use for diabetics. And by taking this drug, a shot in the arm once a month, you'll lose 20 pounds or more. This is going to be bigger than erectile dysfunction. This is going to be the biggest, the most sold pharmaceutical in the world. But yet, today, they announced it, and the stock went up less than 2%. Why? Because Wall Street doesn't understand it. They're interested in what were your earnings last quarter? Google didn't hit their numbers on YouTube. Well, hell, I know that. My viewership is down 70%. Why is that? Because the millennials aren't staying at home playing the stock market anymore. Look what happened to what's that channel or that broker they use? It's the one that throws all the Robinhood. Their subscriptions are down. Look what happened to Netflix. Of course, people. These things are to be expected. So where do we invest for the next 20 years? Well, I believe we, as I say, because of artificial intelligence, machine learning, quantum computing, the fields of healthcare are going to change dramatically. I shared with you in a video earlier this week of one company that got 3 people cured a generic disease. 3 people, and their stock went up 100% in one day, 136% to be exact. Well, what happens when they get 3,000 people? What's going to happen to that stock? What's going to happen when a needle in my arm takes cancer out of my body? When a needle in my granddaughter's egg and her fiance's sperm take it out of our bloodline? What's going to happen then? 100% in a day? No, 5,000, like Andre said, 5,000% in a matter of weeks. So we know what's going to happen. What about cybersecurity? Because of the war, they aren't going. If Vladimir throws his nuclear weapons at us, we'll shut him down. We'll take the grid over there, the electric grid, and shut it down. What about supply chain? Do you dare depend on Russia for natural gas anytime in the future? No, you got to bring that back. Do we depend on the Chinese anymore for our masks, for our respirators? No. Do we depend on them for our flat screen TVs? No, at best, we'll have those made in Mexico from people we trust or in Canada. How about alternative energy? Is that going to be a part of the future? You bet it is. So these are the things, and then our cryptocurrency. These are the things that are going to change the world in the future. And that's where we want to invest. And are we going to come out of this fear factor that we're in relative to inflation and interest rates and supply chain and war? Of course we are. Just like we came out of the dot-com bubble, just like we came out of the nonsense that was created by the banks making stupid loans in the subprime crisis. We come out of it. And the difference is we have such tremendous technology in front of us that the world is just going to change like you won't recognize it. Okay? So that will take care of my number one goal, and that is making a difference in your life. from learning from the past, having a vision into the future, and sharing with you what to invest. And in the future videos, and I've done this in the past, I've told you the stocks to invest in, and I'll continue to do that here on this channel. Another reason for you to subscribe. But then my goal, I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, and that is that if you really want to make a difference in people's lives, you need to talk to the young people because time is on their side. If I make a good investment in genome therapy, it'll affect my life for 10 years. Then I'm dead, okay? It'll affect my grandchildren's lives. But if I really want to make a difference in someone's life, I need to talk to a 22-year-old. He just graduated from his highest level of education. He's contemplating getting married or at least living with someone, or she, in reverse. And so they need to know what I know. They need to know where to invest their money. But equally important, they need not to only know what stocks to invest in, but where to hold it. Because there's tax consequences. If you hold it in a brokerage account and you buy and sell and you trade, you're paying taxes on it. If you hold it in a traditional IRA, yes, you get a deduction for your $6,000 contribution, but you pay taxes on it when you take it out when you reach my age. No, you need to invest it in a Roth IRA. And I want to show you whether you want to be a passive investor, an active investor, or you want to take a moonshot, the difference it makes on how you invest and where you invest. Let me show you this Excel spreadsheet that I've created. Now, equally as important as what stocks you invest in, I believe it's important, particularly if you've got time on your side and you're young, it's important where you invest it. As I said, if you put it into a brokerage account, you're dealing with capital gains taxes on a regular basis. So Uncle Sam's going to get in your pants on that one. If you put it in a traditional IRA, you get a deduction for your $6,000 contribution each year. But when you take it out, when you reach your retirement age, he's going to hit you as ordinary income, and that can be as high as 50%. It can be as low as maybe 10% or 15%, but you add state taxes on it and you're probably close to 20. No, the place you need to invest it in is a Roth. And I want to show you the difference as to if you do a Roth and at what age and how you invest it, how you approach your investing. So what I've done here on this chart, this Excel spreadsheet, is I focused on 22 years age, 28, 38, 55. And then I said, okay, if you invested it in, this would be the S&P 500, and you got an 8% return, because over the last 50 years, that's what the S&P 500 has returned. If you put it in the QQQs, which is more towards technology and disruption, you're going to 50 years, you're going to get a 13% return. And then if you've watched some of my videos where I show you, if you had done this in 1982 and invested in Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Nvidia, the big six of my portfolio, you would have averaged 33% return. And in that video, go find it, you'll see you go up and down. I mean, sometimes some years you have an 84% loss. But if you stay with it in these kind of stocks, and what I believe these kind of stocks are in the future are your genome sequencing, your alternative energy, which includes EVs, your cybersecurity, and your supply chain. Those are going to be the areas that are going to give you a 33% return. So let's then look, and what you can see, I've then said, what's it going to be worth when people turn 65? Well, if you're 55, your investments range from 133 or 100,000 to 2.2 million. by the time you're 65. If you're 38 and you adopt this plan, your investments are going to amount to $575,000 up to what's that? That's $336 million. Okay, that's if you're 38. If you're 22, you're going from a conservative of that's $3 million up to 111,000 million billion. Yeah, these are billions. Okay, so that's the difference from passive investment, which I would say, as I say, is a Roth IRA in the S&P 500 to a moonshot. Okay, if you would like a copy of the graph, the chart I showed you of the past 20-year investment history, and if you'd like a copy of my Excel spreadsheet, you'll find a description below. Just, hit them and it'll come. Give me your email address and I'll give you a download to it. Then the last thing I want to talk to you is about this. The power of the tribe. We live in an age where we can communicate openly and honestly on a daily basis, sometimes not so honestly. It's called a Discord. It's where you can come and I can share, and I do share my portfolio. So on a daily basis if Gary bought something or he sold something, how much of his portfolio is in the big six and how much of his portfolio is in genome sequencing and how much is in cybersecurity and how much is in fintech. So that if you believe in me, what exactly I hold. Now, what I've done on top of that is I've subscribed to some gurus, and I've sorted through their information, and I've composed a composite portfolio of what these gurus own in their portfolio so that you can make better investment decisions. I also want you to be aware of Stock Cards, and Stock Cards has a part of its portfolio or a part of its website where it shares other people's portfolios. There's just a lot of information and tools that you can use, and I try to share those with you so that you make better investment decisions. The reality is, from what you just saw, there is nothing keeping you from becoming a multimillionaire, nothing keeping you from it except knowledge. And you have to figure out, and I want to help you acquire that knowledge. I'll tell you the books to read if you'll read. And if you're like me and you can't read, you put them on your phone and you listen to them on Audible, okay? There's a way around things. There's a way, no matter what you're burdened with, you can get around it. And the biggest burden you carry right now is in your head. It's what Andre referred to about the unwanted roommate. The roommate who tells you, you can't do that. That's not possible. Yeah. Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, yeah, they gave me 33% returns. But that's never going to happen again. Yes, it is. And all you got to do is get in front of it. Talk to you again tomorrow.